The Gallus boys are back on top, and if that's the case, this brand is going down. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling for your WWE NXT review for the 17th of January 2023. We're getting closer to the Royal Rumble. And I can't wait, man. The Royal Rumble, no matter how bad wrestling is, the Royal Rumble, always a fun pay-per-view, always a fun match, and always worth the watch. But before we get to the Royal Rumble, of course, we have to get through a couple more NXTs. I think this actually might be the penultimate NXT. It might be, actually, yeah. So we've got one more NXT, one more Raw, and then two more SmackDown. So, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting close to the Rumble event. So we kicked off NXT tonight with Axiom versus Apollo Crews. No, Axiom and Apollo Crews, my bad, versus Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. The team of Williams and Carmelo Hayes got the win. No, wait, they didn't actually. It was Apollo Crews and Axiom, my bad. Apollo Crews and Max. I don't get it, man. I think that the other team should have won. So, we'll see. I mean, it was an okay match to start the show, but I mean, it is what it is. It's pro wrestling at the end of the day. It kind of sucks, doesn't it? I mean, who cares about throwaway matches on NXT? I certainly don't. But I mean, yeah, it was all right. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. So, that is what it is. But again, I like Carmelo Hayes. I like Trick Williams. I even like. I do like Apollo Crews. I'm just not a big fan of Axiom. So I think the better team lost here. But I mean, it is what it is. Then we see Tony D and Channing Stacks Lorenzo walking on a bridge. Stacks asks why they're there. Tony says for business. Tony says this bridge represents beginnings and in some cases the end. He tossed a chain and pendant into the river. Tony says Stacks did a lot of growing up this year. He proved to be a solid earner and he took a bullet for Tony over and over without thinking twice. Tony says the D-Jack situation didn't end how he wanted it. Stacks apologises and says he's sorry about that. Tony knows he would do anything for him. Stacks says if this is it, he's going to be loyal to the very end. Stacks turns and faces the water. Tony goes behind him but hesitates, then tells Stacks his days of being a soldier are over. It's time to become the underboss. Stacks can't believe it. Tony presents Stacks with a shirt that has the family crest on it. He says that Stacks now gets to wear the crest, perhaps as a tattoo. Stacks is shocked and grateful. Stacks and Tony then embrace. Tony kisses Stacks on the cheek, and Tony's like proud of Stacks, and they walk off together. I mean, this is great. I mean, this is fucking great. This is like mob boss stuff, man. Mafia stuff. It looked like Tony D was going to end Stacks like they did 2 times, a few months ago when he got released from the company. They threw him off the bridge and it looked like here that Tony D was perhaps sick of Stacks losing match after match after match, costing him the match last week. Is he going to eliminate him? Is he going to end him? No, he's not. He's going to make him. He's going to make him a real man. He's making him the underboss. So, I mean, great stuff. Brilliant. I love Tony D. I love this whole gimmick. And, he needs to be pushed. Tony D needs to be... He needs to be the champ, man. Put the belt on the guy. The Tony D thing is brilliant. I think what I would also like, though, maybe they need to add a few members. Even if they're like legit, guys that just lose all the time, or guys that don't even wrestle. I mean, they could just be guys that are, put in segments. They don't need to be wrestlers, but I do think for him to be this like mafia boss and like if Stacks is the underboss, then who's he in charge of? You know what I mean? Because there's no one else there. So I mean, I really do like it, but I think that they could do with perhaps like adding a few more members. Again, like I said, they don't need to be wrestlers, but I do think they need some more people for the segments and just on screen. But I mean, this was great. I enjoyed it. And it's simple stuff. Then we get Tiffany Stratton. She's backstage with Mackenzie. They show a video package where Indy essentially like changes the changing room doors, so it says Tiffany Stratton, and Indy like changing it so it says the NXT women's wrestlers, and then Tiffany Stratton says that she's going to have to show them that she's the only superstar in the division, then says toodles and walks off. I mean, Tiffany Stratton looking hot, but I mean, it was a basic segment, not a lot happened. Toxic Attraction came out, cut a pretty boring promo, then Lyra Falcry came out or Valkyria came out, whatever. She says that the two of them can't beat Roxanne Perez on their own, so they have to do it together. They then start beating down Lyra Valkyria, and then Roxanne Perez makes a save. Roxanne Perez looks like a midget. I know she's small, but it looked like she got smaller this week. She honestly looked about 3 foot tall. But whatever, she comes into the ring, clears house. Whatever. Then we get a tag team match for tonight, so it's going to be Perez and Valkyrie versus Toxic Attraction. We go backstage. The Diamond Mine, Brutus Creed and Julius Creed are arguing over who gets to face Jinder Mahal. Brutus wants his shot. Julius says he's not done with Jinder. Then Ivy Neal interrupts them and says, "Here we go again." She wants to know what happened to the Creed brothers. She runs them down, saying that she knew they would lose to Jinder last week. And then she tells them to grow a set and get back to the way they used to be, and walks off. And then Brutus Creed says, "You know what, she's got a point." Again, this was more bullshit. Just women always undermining men. If women aren't physically beating up men, then, you know, they're verbally humiliating them, and it's garbage. I mean, why is this Ivy Nile person telling the Creed brothers to grow a set? Honestly, why didn't they just fucking drop her then and then? I hate this. I hate... You would never get... You never get men even talking down to women in wrestling nowadays, man. It's so... man, they're so pushing political agendas where, men are trash and women are superior and women are these alpha fucking people, and, you know, all men are simps, all men are wimps. That's the way to try and book it, man. It's like, you're not allowed to be a masculine guy anymore, and wrestling's the same, you know. Where's all the masculine stars, you know? Why are they letting a woman talk to them like this? It's embarrassing. It's the same on Raw. You got Rhea Ripley, you know, squaring up to everybody. Last night, Solo Sikoa is beating every single person he's faced, and then Rhea Ripley gets face to face with him, and we're supposed to believe that Rhea Ripley is going to be a match for Solo Sikoa. It's so fucking dumb. I hate how they do this. I mean, if it was fair, and maybe in the next segment you seen a guy talk down to a woman or berate a woman, then fair enough, but you would never get that, not in 2023, because that would probably be considered bullying, or, you know, some sort of domestic fucking, you know, domestic mental violence or something like that. Oh, you're verbally bullying this woman, you know, but the women can do whatever they want to the men. It's dumb, and it's off-putting, honestly, man. Makes you stop watching this shit. Then we get Alba Fire versus Sol Ruka. That's Isla Dawn makes a distraction, and then Alba Fire loses. Sol Ruka hits a Rupa Scooper or something like that. I don't know what it was called. Funny looking move, and she gets the win. So I won. Soul Crusher, that's what it's called. Soul Crusher, 1, 2, 3. Then we come back for the break. We get a wee vignette with D-Jack. D-Jack says last week Tony D'Angelo and his goon learned the hard way about hard justice. And next on the docket is the NXT North American Champion Wes Lee. D-Jack says he didn't come to NXT to make friends. He came to collect punitive damages. He says that Lee is a wannabe, and Lee will fill his bag with something he's never had: championship gold. D-Jack then says he'll offer a plea bargain where Lee just hands the title over, but he's probably too stupid to take it. D-Jack says Lee has no chance of walking out of Vengeance Day with the title, as hard justice awaits. He says it will not be Vengeance Day for Lee, it will be Judgment Day. Again, D-Jack, I love D-Jack. There's so many good gimmicks and so many good characters on NXT. But it's just a shame that the roster's so big that, literally, no one really gets that much screen time. I would much rather see a show where we get to see D-Jack multiple times throughout, where we get to see Tony D multiple times throughout, where we get to see Chase University multiple times throughout. But the NXT roster's so big, it's everyone gets their 2 minutes if they're lucky every week, and it's just not enough time to build characters and to, get you invested. So, yeah, that's my only complaint. I reckon if you could cut the NXT roster in half, the show would be so much better. If you would just take all the good stuff from NXT and you would, expose it to more screen time, the show would be so much better. But unfortunately, they don't do that. I like D-Jack, though, and it would be damn near criminal if he doesn't leave Vengeance Day with the NXT North American Championship. We then get some segments with Grayson Waller and Braun Breaker just talking about the match, how it happened. Braun Breaker says he's not happy about it and, you know, he wants to put it right. They mention the fact that Grayson Waller had him beat, or at least it looked like that. Grayson Waller's walking about with a fake belt as well because he believes he's the new champion. So yeah, this steel cage match, I guess, will decide who the champion is really going to be. Then there was a rest in peace, like they noted the fact that, is it Joe Briscoe, or one of the Briscoe brothers passed away, unfortunately, so I mean that sucks, rest in peace. I'm not going to sit here and talk about it because I've never really, you know, cared for the Briscoe brothers. I've never thought anything of them, but you know, it still sucks. It's a human life, so rest in peace to him. NXT, you know, gave him a mention, so I mean, it is what it is. Rest in peace. But then we get the Gallus boys. They come out. They come out and beat Brooks and Jensen. Brooks is hurt, or Jensen's hurt, or is it Briggs? I don't even know. I don't even care. One of them's hurt, and then Kiana James comes out to see if she's okay. The other woman is, I think, jealous or something. I don't know. But then she says she's sorry and she wants to make up to him, so she gets a tag team match with her next week. Again, who cares? Then we get the New Day come out. They said that they're going to take on the Gallus boys, because the Gallus boys beat Pretty Deadly last week. Pretty Deadly came out and go, that's not how it works. Pretty Deadly says that they are still the number one contenders. Then the Gallus boys come out and they say that the New Day are correct, that the Gallus boys on top. And then the New Day say that they didn't even understand a word that the Gallus boys said. They get into a brawl, freeway brawl, who cares? We're getting a triple threat match at Vengeance Day. What else did we get after this? We got Valentina Feroz versus Fia Hall. Fia Hall gets the win, and basically Chase U are going crazy. So, you know, that's what it is. Big win for Chase Hall. But yeah, big win for Chase Fia Hall, and next week they're going to have like a Chase University celebration to celebrate Fia Hall's win. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but again, who really cares? Chase is in a bad mood over apparently there was a video backstage where Hudson is criticising basically kind of like the leadership. He says that the Chase University is on a bad losing streak, which it is, and this seems to piss off Andrew Chase, which is fair enough, I guess. Then we get, what did we get? We got Apollo Crews. He was backstage with Trick Williams and Hayes, and he mentioned something about a barbers. Is there good barbers in town? I mean, yeah, I did on. Who cares? Then, what did we get after that? We got, you know what? Fuck it, guys. I think we're just going to go straight to the main event. Yeah, I'm going to go straight to the main event. It was a main event. It was Perez and Falcry versus... No, wait, before that we got Xavier Bernal. So Xavier Bernal was taking on Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate is now officially like a full-time member on NXT. Bullshit. I don't really care for Tyler Bate. But Tyler Bate won this. Not surprising. I mean, we knew Tyler Bate was going to win. There's just no money in Tyler Bate. The guy, he legit looks like he belongs from the 50s. This guy looks like a wrestler from the fucking 50s. And he's a small midget. Seriously, there's no reason to like this Tyler Bate guy. But of course he'll get pushed because that's the situation wrestling's in these days. It fucking sucks. Then we get the tag team match main event. Roxanne Perez and Falcry versus Toxic Attraction, and Roxanne Perez and Falcry win after Toxic Attraction miscommunicated and collided with each other. So yeah, there you go. NXT ended with Roxanne Perez like smiling. Honestly, they hyped this match up as like a huge main event throughout the show. Honestly, this is not a huge main event. I mean, you could argue this match would be lucky to be on TV. Never mind, you know, main event. Definitely not a huge main event, and it doesn't matter how many times they push it as a huge main event. It just wasn't a huge main event. I thought it kind of sucked in all honesty. But yeah, Roxanne Perez and Falcry win. I didn't like NXT this week. I mean, the sit-down interviews I thought with Waller and Breaker were decent. I really liked the Tony D'Angelo bridge scene. Some of the Chase U stuff was okay. The D-Jack promo was okay. I mean, the things that the problem is with NXT, the things that I actually like, but there's so much other garbage on the show that it does take away, you know, from the overall product. I'm gonna give it I'll give it a 2 out of 10. I'm sorry, it's getting a 2 out of 10 for me. Nothing more than that. Tony D, D-Jack, Chase University, people like that need to take up a lot more of the show. And, you know, we need to get rid of the stuff that ain't so good. Like the Gallus boys on top, fuck that shit. They shouldn't be on top, they shouldn't be on bottom, they just shouldn't be there. So yeah, get the Gallus boys, get them away, send them back to Scotland, and give Tony D'Angelo their screen time. Anyway guys, that's it, 2 out of 10. Let me know what you think down below. Catch you in the next one, and of course, until then, till next time, peace.